The government have just said that you will receive the grades that were originally predicted by your teachers. Now, what are your next steps? What do I do now? Hey guys, and yeah, welcome back to my channel. Today's going to be a slightly different video because literally just got the breaking news that the government have finally decided to do a U-turn, and I'm not even going to go and give my thumbs up and say well done to the government because they should have thought of this in the first place.
The tea is exceptionally good today. Who made this?
And use the teachers' predicted grades to award A-level students. Looking back in retrospect and actually looking at what the algorithm was saying is that teachers, look, you're gonna go and send off the predicted grades of these students that you know best, that you've been teaching for probably 2 to 7 years of time. However, as the government, as we know best, we're gonna have the final say on that student's grades and future. We've seen the calamity and mess that has resulted from this algorithm. First of all, the classism that undermines such algorithm. I don't know why I'm surprised. The fact that this algorithm was designed by people in office who predominantly will come from those backgrounds, the private schools that we saw a couple of days back, which grossly benefited from this algorithm in comparison to state schools. The fact that we thought that they'd be able to design a system that was representative and was in the best interest of everybody in the country was ignorant, was just stupid. It was like this year, the government have been absolutely shambolically, catastrophically disastrous. And that's me pulling out my year 11 GCSE English literature vocabulary for y'all. Just this whole algorithm system, this whole kind of reasoning that an algorithm, a computer could predict a student's grades, capacity and potential is just absolutely ridiculous. You know, I'm just so happy that it has been scrapped. So for those of you who don't live in the UK or simply don't know what's happened, let me just summarize it for you. In light of lockdown and coronavirus, exams were cancelled because students simply could not sit them. So Ofqual, which is a government organisation which follows their guidelines and recommendations, essentially developed an algorithm, a system, a computerized system which would then predict what a student would have got, statistically speaking, had they sat their exams. And the information that they took into account was the centre assessment grade, which was the predicted grades sent in by students, and then they standardised them and changed these grades on the basis of the type of school that student went to, the history of that school and their achievements, their previous attainments. Now, to a middle class white man, on paper this system may seem perfect, you know, because they've likely gone to a school which has historically achieved really well. So this system benefits them because they know that they're going to get their predicted grades or even surpass them because their school has done well. This was another postcode lottery. People who went to state schools, schools that have historically underperformed, were disproportionately affected by this system. In my personal experience, I went to a state school which historically underperformed. We were rated inadequate by what's that, Ofsted? Who are them guys? We were rated inadequate by Ofsted, I think a couple of years back, and if I'd have sat my A-levels or received my grades this year, I know I wouldn't have received the 3 A stars that I actually did. I wouldn't be surprised at this point if I actually was given A star, BB, and missed my medicine offer at Oxford that I worked so hard for. And unfortunately, this has been the reality for so many students, in particular those who come from low socioeconomic backgrounds, and it's just been so unfair. Okay, I had to cut the cameras because I was ranting too much, and I really want to focus on the positives and the good news, which is that if you're an A-level student who received their results this year, 2020, the government have just said that you will receive the grades that were originally predicted by your teachers, which is amazing. Just to make this video seem more legitimate on my front, I'm just going to read out the email that a lot of you students should have received from UCAS, which kind of details what they're doing on their front. This afternoon, examination regulators in England, Wales, Northern Ireland announced that students will now receive their centre assessment grades. If on the 13th of August you were not placed at your firm or insurance choice university or college, you should first speak with your parents or guardians and teachers to decide if you wish to take up place at your first choice university or college. Let me just hold my tongue. I can't believe they put if they wish to. Of course they wanna. Of course they wish to. Remember, universities and colleges will need to have received your centre assessment grades before they can make any decisions based on your application. We are working with the awarding bodies Ofqual to receive revised grades as quickly as possible to pass them to your universities and colleges. Any decisions made will be made by the individual university or college and not UCAS. So I guess the take-home messages from that message from UCAS is that, number one, before universities can say anything about the change in status of your application, they need to have received your centre assessment days. There's going to be a massive backlog of kind of emails, queries from students, because 40% of the UK were downgraded, so you can expect a lot of students. So do be patient with these bodies and with schools as well. Second point is that it is the university which will be making the decision as to whether, now that you've got your offer, will they accept you in the 2020 cycle or will they accept you in the 2021 cycle. It's so important that you read up on the up-to-date news from that university that is either your firm or insurance choice. Now, what are your next steps? What's next? You've heard this news on Sky, BBC News. You're celebrating, which you should do. What do I do now? Teachers, just as students, have just received this news right now. The government at this point have just been freestyling with the whole of education and just grade allocation. However, first thing you must do is contact your schools. Contact your schools to find out what your centre assessment grades, the original predictions that your teachers gave you, in order to find out if that changes the situation with whether you will now be able to get into your first or second choice university. Do understand that teachers are probably going to be very overwhelmed and just bombarded with emails, particularly in the next few hours, as this is all very new. However, I do understand that such issues are very, very urgent, and you know, you've already been through so much emotional turmoil. I can't begin to imagine how painful it is to be rejected from university on the basis of exams you did not sit. But anyways, I hope that I've helped to clarify what is going on with this new piece of breaking news released by the government as of today. I guess I also wanted to give reassurance to affected A-level students that we're here to support you. We're doing all that we can to support you. We're here in prayers. What has happened, the A-level fiasco, has been the epitome of unfair, characterized by classism and discrimination, and has just, it shouldn't have been done in the first place. But that said, we need to keep moving forward, because yes, the world is unfair, although it should not be. However, we need to be pragmatic and know what our next steps are. What are we going to be doing tomorrow? What are we going to be doing next week? What are our universities saying in order for us to keep the wheels turning and keep the momentum up in our day-to-day life? So if you have any more questions, or if you just need someone to speak to, please feel free to DM me. I'll try my best to get back to you. Or alternatively, if you're comfortable doing so, comment down in the section below how you are feeling. What are your thoughts on what has happened? You know, I would love to know. Keep me in the loop, keep me informed. Yeah, let's keep our heads up. 2020 has not been the easiest years, but I can assure you that when we make it to December the 31st and we look back, we're going to be so proud of how we came in the middle of a global pandemic, let me just add. So I'm so proud of just everyone, and let's just keep it going. Yeah, this video has been a bit of a mess and my sister's laughing in the back. Wishing you kind of the best of luck, and as I said before, please feel free to message me with any questions. If you just want to rant, I'm down for that too. And yeah, I guess I'll see you guys in the next video, and I'll keep you updated as to what Ofqual and UCAS say. Bye.